Morning Show right here on WBOK. I am Wilson. I am happy to tell you that the Lord woke me up and blessed me with yet another day to start this weekday work week. And I am happy and blessed that He did so. Planted my feet on the floor, made sure I got on over to our Black Talk radio station. Greeted at the door by producer Jared Brown. Always good to see him. I know I can get in the door, and then we can get on with the show, get on with the day. And what a weekend! What a weekend! Oh my! I mean, a lot of activity. Of course, annually the 4th of July, and this year the 250th birthday of these United States. I wonder what you did. What's your usual 4th of July thing that you do, if there's anything? And did you do anything special for the big birthday, the big 250th birthday? And or did you go to Essence Festival? Were you out there? I was. Did you go for a couple of hours? And that was enough for you? Uh, were you able to avoid lines, or did the lines not bother you? Did you go to BeautyCon? You know what kinds of things did you do if you did go to Essence Fest, or were you one of those night Essence people and you hung out at night, took care of other things during the day? Maybe that included work, maybe it included rest, and then headed on out for the evening. Of course, the mothership landed in New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome last night. And there were a number of other big names out on the stage on Essence Festival weekend. Let me tell you about the weather, in case you haven't been outside yet. It's currently about 79 degrees, and it's mostly cloudy. It's going to be that way for much of the morning. There will be pockets of sunshine, so you get a little sunshine throughout the day, but the temperature will be going up and up. And so we expect to get closer to 90, but probably not quite there. Might get up to 87, 88 degrees. And part of that is because it's going to be mostly cloudy. The other part is that you might need your rain umbrella, because around 9 o'clock or so, we're expecting some showers in a number of places. Doesn't look like it'll be everywhere, but 30-40% chance of rain. And but then it will clear up a bit, but still be cloudy until the afternoon. And then we got scattered some thunderstorms in several places, more places, because it's going to be more like 50 to 60% from 2 p.m. on into later in the afternoon. So prepare yourself, get that umbrella, that rain umbrella. Make sure that you have that in your car or in your person as you get up and go about. And think about today as the beginning of a stretch of rainy and thunderstorm days, because that's what the week looks like as of now. It looks like it's going to be in the 80s and on up into 89, 90, maybe 91. But it looks like every day this week, Monday through Friday, we're going to have precipitation chances of more than 55%. So much more likely that we will see rain and we will see thunderstorms. And then on Saturday, July 11th, we're going to have thunderstorms. Much of the day is going to be like 75% chance of rain. So we are in for some liquid sunshine today, tomorrow, and the balance of this week. But don't let that get you down. If you have the opportunity to wake up today and you're listening to my voice or someone else's voice on the other pillow or in the other room, call it a blessing and be happy that you're here to experience the cloudy days, the partly sunny days, the rain, and the thunderstorms on this glorious day. So uh, prepare for that. And as always, the kids might not be in school, and so there might not be as much activity around our schools as there has been during the school year. But there are some kids at Nord and summer camps and day camps and science camps and park camps and street camps and neighborhood camps and playgrounds. So as you head on out, please, 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 let's make sure that you are taking care of yourself, uh, taking care of your personal business, making sure that you are the safe driver, that you're not one of the crazy drivers out there. Be a defensive driver. Watch out for them, and because they might be doing things they shouldn't be doing. And watch out for our babies and kiddos because we need them to stick around, have a good summer, and be ready and prepared to resume school. All right. So it is 7:06 a.m. You got somewhere to be at 7:10. You got about 3 minutes now, and so a little bit more time. You need to be there at 7:15, and even more time if you need to be there for 7:30. So 7:07 a.m. here at WBOK, and we're on the AM dial, and that's at 12:30 a.m. But you can also catch us streaming live on WBOK's YouTube channel, WBOK's Facebook page, and WBOK Instagram as well. So we hope to catch you one place or the other, and we look forward to hearing from you, see what you have to say. We certainly enjoy the opportunity to have you join us in whatever way you choose. And we welcome calls at the WBOK talk line, 504 582 9422, 504 582 9422. One of the things that happened on the weekend was a rather unusual explosion, and that happened in the French Quarter. A little bit strange because it was a underground explosion, and we not something that we were expecting, but yet another thing happening in the French Quarter, and so we reached out to Entergy to find out something about what happened on Saturday night. No one was is available to talk with us this morning. We may be here from others who might be helping us out with an update on that. But according to Entergy, on Saturday night, a transformer failed near the intersection of Bourbon and Conti in an underground vault. And this caused an outage which impacted about 900 customers. Just after 10:30 p.m., Entergy was alerted to a disruption and immediately dispatched a crew. Just before 11 p.m., a fire was reported at Bourbon and Conti. By 11:35, Entergy crews determined there was a need to de-energize, their word, not mine, de-energize the area to effect repairs. So I guess it's like turning off things to make sure that you have an opportunity to check things and prepare yourself without getting hurt. So, with the 900 customers losing service overnight, the water and chemicals used to extinguish the underground fire that had to be drained before crews could safely enter the vault and make repairs. So an additional complication happened a little bit after 3 a.m. after they thought they were well on their way to be moving things along. Caller contacted their operations center, threatened to shoot the crews with a gun. That's right. So they're trying to fix the problem, and about 3 o'clock, a caller contacted operations and threatened to take action and shoot at them. So the New Orleans Police Department was notified, and they kept working. All customers were restored about 6 a.m. on Sunday morning. 900 customers. Not sure exactly where that was, but I'm sure most of them, if not all of them, were in and around the French Quarter. Don't know much about that vault. Would love to know more. And we're going to go to the talk line, and we've got Ryan on the line. Good morning, Ryan. You're on with Will Sutton. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Long weekend. Operating on limited power, but I'm feeling good because it was such a good weekend.
Yes, I was tempted to see how long you could go with no co-host, to see how. But my better nature got a hold of me, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna call, give him a little back and forth.
Well, thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
How,
You're welcome.
how'd I do in that 10, 11 minutes?
You were doing good, but I think you stated the facts. I could tell that your resources were limited right now. I'm not saying, I know they won't stay that way,
Mm-hmm.
but it's early and it was a long weekend for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And Energy didn't provide much info, so I was hoping to have some more there. So that was
That's
something
yeah,
for
that's wild, man.
so.
That's wild. I grew up walking down those streets and looking down there there's a whole other world down there that I don't know nothing about. But I hope they can prevent that from happening again, and hopefully it wasn't nefarious. I know that they said they were investigating for possible, not just it might be mistake or random failure, but hopefully it's not something nefarious. And then the whole gun thing, come on.
Yeah. Um, I mean, if you did lose your power, I don't know what threatening somebody with a gun is going to do. And let's say you even go beyond a threat and you shoot somebody. What you're doing is diverting the attention from the problem that will resolve getting your power back on by diverting resources and attention, getting others involved, which possibly would have interrupted, probably did interrupt what they were doing to try to get that vote situation repaired.
Me, I'm making a pot of grits and getting the coffee pot rolling and start. If you want to get your stuff turned on, get some juice in them boys and gals.
Yep.
But I don't know. That's just, maybe that makes too much sense to some folks.
Yeah, maybe so. So Ryan, did you go out to Essence Festival at all?
I tried, but they wouldn't let me in because I didn't have any shoes on.
You didn't have shoes on, Ryan?
I had a shirt.
A shirt? How about pants?
Yeah, I had an Essence shirt on. Well, I wrote Essence on it, and I didn't have any shoes on. I had socks on, but I don't know. I guess there's some kind of, they were nice socks.
Okay.
With the little, they had little texture on the bottom so that my feet weren't totally touching the ground.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know.
Oh boy. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
probably a safety consideration.
I'm gonna try next year. Hopefully it's in New Orleans. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna wear some shoes.
What do you mean? Hopefully, it's going to be in New Orleans. It's been here every
Well, I
year except
mean,
for 1 year.
okay. Well, then next year I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna find some decent shoes to put on, and hopefully I get in.
Okay. Well, you do that, and hope you get in the next time, and hope to hear some
Yeah.
about.
What you got on the agenda today? Anything juicy or informative?
Well, yeah, we're gonna be talking with a friend named Kate about challenges to Louisiana systems, and looking to have her on probably in this first hour to have have that go on. And we're going to be talking about the legal back and forth with AG Liz Morrell. We're going to be talking about that as well. So, look, we got a
Mm,
caller on the line. I think she wants to talk about Essence Fest. So,
cool.
Lord's blessings, sir, and
Yes, sir. All right.
have a great day. Enjoy that coffee and those grits.
It's happening.
All right. All right. Lord's blessings.
All right.
Have a great day.
Bye.
All right. All right. We got another caller. Good morning,
Good
Tiara.
morning.
Good morning, Tiara Smith. You're on with Will Sutton and the Good Morning Show. How are you?
Hello, Will Sutton. Mr. Sutton, how are you? I'm happy to be on this morning. Just made it back from New Orleans. Happy. God blessings to
Well,
everybody.
well, you were down here for Essence Fest, right?
Yes.
Did you have a good Essence Fest?
Essence Fest was amazing. I'm always happy to be around so many black people, black women, just out having a good time. So, yes, I had a great time. It's really hard to have a bad time in New Orleans, if you ask me.
So you traveled here from where?
From Houston. We
And
drove down.
okay, you drove. And do you drive each year you come?
It just depends on the opportunity. Essence Fest always have different activations, brands, and concerts. As a media person, I can go, but this year I went with one of my clients, Dr. Anderson Cole. She's a minister
Ah.
based out of New York,
Mm-hmm.
and so we went out there to have a street prayer activation called Pause and Pray
Ah.
for her upcoming book called Faith Isn't Just for Sundays. So
Nice.
that time we were really out there just to spread the word of God and just be the hands and feet of God. We was out there giving out free prayers, free hugs, just evangelizing with people, and it really took people off guard because people are at Essence Fest for a good time. So just to have people out there, just reminding them that God loves them, God sees them, and He just wants to have a moment with them. So it really was very life changing for us and for the people just to know that God is always with us and listening to us and watching us no matter what environment that we are in. So it was just a very good experience for all of us.
Oh, good. So compared to some other years that you have been, how was this year compared to the other years, whether it was for work or pleasure?
Right. I think this year was very packed. Like there were so many long lines. The lines was always wrapped around the building. So for some people that were like outside activating the space and talking to people in the heat, it was just kind of interesting to see so many people out just trying to be and experience Essence Fest, trying to see what it's about, what can they get, what can they see, who can they be around. So it just seemed like everybody wanted to be in the space just to see what the hype or the mess was about. Sometimes people come for to hear the good things, and sometimes they trying to see if it's as bad as people say it was. And so I think that it was just the interest of everybody talking about Essence Fest changing or being different that people had to come see for themselves.
So you said different activations. Did you
hmm
see something different this year that you didn't see before? And did you participate in any of those?
We went to BeautyCon. I know a lot of people was going to BeautyCon to see like different celebrities, such as Cardi B was there. Um, and then some of the sponsors had products. So I know a lot of people wanted to get out and get some of those free products because at an activation like Essence Fest, some people get so many free products that they don't buy products for the rest of the year.
What?
So yeah, so that's why some people really try to get there early so that they can get in line multiple times and they can get as many free products as possible. I think another big change this year was a lot of the vendors were also selling products as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't all just for free. Some of the stuff was being sold, but it was at a discounted rate. If somebody's usually online for like $20, it might have been 50% off. So they were still providing a very good deal for the products and the full size products, but it wasn't all free. So I think that was a good opportunity for some of the small business owners too, so they can actually make money instead of just dishing out so much money. I think as a collective, we still have to support each other financially and keep the money within the Black community. So everything doesn't necessarily need to be free. If you do have some money that you can invest into these Black-owned businesses, I think that is important and something that we should do.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Sorry I missed you, Miss Tierra. I was looking forward to
Yes,
my prayer and my hug.
always, always. But I would love to just pray for all the people out there listening.
Go ahead. Got 30
All right.
seconds.
Perfect. God, thank you so much for this day and this opportunity. We thank that everybody was able to make it to New Orleans and have a great time, and prayerfully they make it home safely. God, we know that we fall short of your glory and your power and your honor sometimes. So we just ask for your forgiveness. Thank you for shining your light on us, and thank you for seeing us. Thank you for giving us this day. We pray that you continue to bless the people of New Orleans and all the people that came to Essence Fest this year. God bless the Black women. God bless the Black men. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. All right, Tierra Smith, thank you so much. We appreciate your
God bless y'all. Thank
calling
y'all
the
for
Good
letting
Morning
us
Show.
call in today.
All right, Lord's
Bye-bye.
blessings. Have a great day. All right, folks, we're going to take a break right now, and when we come back, we're going to have some more news and information for you. We're going to be talking with Katie Boudouin, and she's going to be talking to us about the governor's reallocation of the MFP fund. You've been hearing about that over the last couple of weeks, and there's been some pros and cons on that. The legislature took votes by digital, email, and there have been legal challenges. Well, she's going to give us an update about what's going on with that. All right, so that'll be right after the break. It's 7:23 a.m. The talk line is 504-582-9422. Please be understanding and let us talk with our guests, and perhaps you can call as we get to that point, or at another point during the show, because we will have time to hear from you. 504-582-9422. This is WBOK 1230 a.m. what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Kubel, and here are today's headlines for you. Attorney General Liz Murrill is doubling down on letters sent to New Orleans leaders after hearing she may be the subject of a grand jury investigation. The investigation centers on letters the AG sent to Mayor Helena Moreno, DA Jason Williams, and members of City Council. That is after Mayor Moreno called for a special election and appointed an interim clerk after a bill consolidating court clerks passed. The letters urge them to cooperate with newly passed Act 15 legislation or lose their jobs. The AG says she hasn't been notified of the investigation and that she stands by the letters. Well, this year's Essence Festival kicks off the July 4th weekend, and the Essence Festival media kickoff is at 9:30 this morning at the Convention Center. While you're enjoying all of the culture, the music, and the food, festival leaders do want you to stay safe. There is a Designate Before You Celebrate campaign. The goal is to prevent serious injuries and deaths on the roads during the holiday weekend. And that's a look for you at today's headlines.
Real issues, real talk, real solutions. Miss an episode of The Reality Check? You can catch every episode anytime. Search WBOK Media on your favorite podcast app to tap the bold commentary, real-time reactions, and powerful perspectives from the people and leaders shaping our city. Download, share, and rate it 5 stars because the real ones always stay informed.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show at 7:26 a.m. I am Will Sutton, and blessed to be here with you. You can listen to us on WBOK 1230 a.m. You can find us online streaming on the WBOK webpage. You can also catch us on WBOK's YouTube channel or the Facebook page, and of course, Instagram. Look, we're going to be jumping into conversation with Katie Bardawin, and she's got news and information for us to put in context this whole MFP situation that has been quite the conversation over the last several weeks, and resulting in the governor moving forward to push this through. So let's jump into that conversation and see what's going on. Good morning, Katie. How are you?
I'm well, Will. Good morning. How are you today?
Fabulous. So you have a busy life.
I try to stay busy.
Yeah, yep. So for starters, when's the last time you've been at or WBOK?
Gosh, I don't know. It's been a few years, I will say.
That's what I thought. All right, so let's make sure that people have a little background so that they know who we're talking about before we get to the MFP. So when we have situations like this, Katie, we like to say, who your mama and them? Tell us
hey
a
there.
little
Yeah,
about you.
sure. My mom is Ann Wakefield, but I am Katie Bardawin. I am Orleans Parish School Board member. I represent District 5, which is parts of Uptown, Garden District, Lower Garden District, into the Warehouse District, up through Central City, and into Broadmoor and Fontainebleau. I think that's everybody. I've been on the school board since 2020, so this is my 6th year. And yeah, I was just calling in to talk about the governor's cuts to public education this year, and some of the work that we've been doing to try to stop it. Unfortunately, we were unsuccessful, but just want to make sure that folks know about, what the governor's out here doing.
All right, so you know more than I do, and I know what MFP is, but a lot of people may be just catching up. All these people throwing around MFP, what is that?
It's the Minimum Foundation Program, and it's how public education is funded in the state. That's the state formula that's used to determine how much state money will go to each parish for public education, combined with the local sales and property taxes that go to public education in your parish.
So
that's the state portion.
Yeah. So one of the things that some people have complained about is not having enough money to fund the school district and classrooms in particular, but also programming. On the other side, so to speak, Some people say, well, the funding is what it is. That's up to you how you're supposed to use it. And if somebody wants to change the formula, then the formula should be changed and not telling us what to do. Can you give us your take on that?
Well, I think it's absolutely true that there's not enough money funding public education in this state. And it is also true that the money is the money and we have to do what we have to do with it. But the legislature is supposed to be raising the MFP every year by, I think, 2.5%. They very rarely do it. So what we have is stagnant funding for public education in this state. Meanwhile, we know that costs go up every year. How much it costs to pay a teacher, how much it costs to educate a student goes up every year. So that leaves a problem with public education funding in the state when we don't have increases every year in state funding. So in my opinion, absolutely, we're underfunding public education in Louisiana.
So the governor wanted the legislature to make changes with a constitutional amendment. All 5 of those amendments went down, including that one. Give us some context
That's right.
of what that amendment would have done and whether that would have been good or bad for Orleans Parish schools.
So twice the governor tried to have the state amend the Constitution to pull money out of some education funds elsewhere in the budget and put them toward teacher stipends. These are not permanent teacher pay raises. These are stipends. So that's one-time money, $2,000 for teachers, $1,000 for other education support staff. And this one time once per year. Sometimes they fund these stipends out of the general fund. This amendment would have had that money come from other education sort of savings accounts in the budget. Both times, this year and last year, those amendments failed spectacularly. The people in the state want to see more education funding. They don't want to just see money moved around from one place to another. So I think it would have been bad for the state personally. We need, like I said, like I continue to say, we need more money going towards public education. It doesn't really help to just move stuff around, take money out of the classroom, particularly for one-time stipends, temporary money that doesn't really boost teacher pay in this state long term.
All right, so there were challenges to the most recent idea after the constitutional amendments failed and after the legislature failed to come up with something. Give us some context about that and why we got into a situation where we had legislators not voting during a session, but voting by emails, essentially.
Right. So during the legislative session is when you usually see these discussions about budget funding happening. There should have been, there was discussion, but should have happened during the finalization of the budget. The MFP would normally be finalized, would be approved by the legislature, and that would be the budget for the year. That would be the state portion of everybody's budget for the year. The legislative session ended this year without those decisions being made. And so the governor issued an executive order directing the legislature to vote on taking $168 million out of the MFP from certain areas of funding and direct it to these stipends for teachers and education support workers. So it's incredibly unusual, perhaps unprecedented, to have this kind of thing happen outside of a legislative session. Legislators voting on funding, by mail or by email, particularly right after a legislative session when they could have been doing it the appropriate way that they do it every other year.
So there was a challenge, but that challenge has gone away. Is that correct?
Well, it's our opinion that the way that the governor issued his executive order by saying cut the MFP from here, reallocate it elsewhere, is unconstitutional, that the governor doesn't have the power to change the MFP in that way, does not have the power to reallocate the MFP either. And so myself and 2 others, Michael Falk and Belinda Davis, from elsewhere in Louisiana, we filed suit against the governor to get him to try to stop the implementation of his executive order. We were successful originally. We were able to get a temporary restraining order, which stopped the implementation for about a week of the executive order. However, the legislature kept voting. The ballots had already been sent out. Legislators continued to vote, and the voting closed before the temporary restraining order was over, before we got our hearing for a permanent injunction. So the legislature ended up voting to cut the MFP. More than 2/3 of them voted in that way. And so when we went back for the permanent injunction, we were unsuccessful for a technical reason, and we considered continuing to push forward, but we really felt like ultimately the powers were just stacked up against us. And even though the governor, continue to believe the governor is acting in an unconstitutional way, there are only so many resources that can be put, private resources that can be put towards personally suing the governor in his capacity as governor and trying to stop this action from an executive order. So we felt like we were not going to be able to be successful ultimately, and we had to give up our challenge. But we really did it to spread the word. A lot of it, we did it to stop the action from happening. But I think we also had the effect of getting the word out there of like what the governor is trying to do to public education in this state, and hopefully it will draw some attention to this particular action, this unconstitutional action that this governor is doing, and also in future sessions, get people more aware and more interested in how the legislature is funding public education and what we're doing to increase funds instead of just move around money.
Okay, so how much money has to be moved around in Orleans schools now with where we stand?
It's about $10 million that will affect Orleans Parish schools. And that's affecting Orleans Parish schools for the school year that started this month, July 1st. So another one of the, massive headaches caused by the executive order is that schools have already made their budgets. They make their budgets for the upcoming school year in the spring. So they've already made their budgets. They've hired their teachers. They've hired their staff. They've determined their programs and their curriculum for the school year that starts, teachers already are starting this month and students go back next month. And they've got to figure out how to make these $10 million worth of cuts for this upcoming school year.
Are we looking at the possibility of teachers and staff hired for the school year who might have to be told, we can't hire you?
I think that's a possibility. I mean, every school will have to figure out for themselves how they can manage these cuts. You're looking at tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars per school that will have to be cut. We're looking at about $250, $260 per student. That adds up for every school. And so, if not teachers, perhaps curriculum coaches, perhaps other programs that will be cut that they just can't do this year. So I'm not sure what exactly schools will be doing to make up for this money, but every one of them is trying to figure that out right now.
Okay, and of course we have a nearly all charter system. What difference is that making, and would those cuts apply to these charter management organizations, or
they do apply? Yes, yes, they do. All the charter schools are funded with MFP money. They're all funded with the same, public dollars that public charter schools are funded with. And so, yes, they are all looking at their budgets now, just like we are for the Leah Chase School. We, being the Orleans Parish School Board, will be looking at for the Leah Chase School, the one school that we run directly, to figure out where cuts will have to be made.
So
in order to pay those stipends to the teachers.
Right. And of course, there was consideration of closing that school, and a couple of donors came in to extend the life of that school and give it a longer runway to be successful. How will these cuts, will these cuts be determined aside from those wonderful contributions to keep the school open? Are you expecting particular things to have to happen given where the school was financially previously, or what can we expect with the Leah Chase School?
Well, the Leah Chase School will not close because of this.
Okay.
It's going to remain open. I doubt any school will close because of this, but every school will have to make tough decisions about this school year, yes.
Okay, let's go to the phone line. Good morning, Alicia. You're on with Will Sutton and Katie. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. I see you survived the holiday.
I did.
Will, and to Miss Baldwin, I am so disgusted with the school board, with all this petition going around a recall. We need to recall the school board because they don't operate for us. The only public school that was forced on them by the community, and that was when the last session, they have to fight to stay. They have to fight to come back this year. Those people on that board are still taking orders from Leslie Rosenthal Jacobs. They do nothing for our children, nothing for public school. You have no high school in the upper nine. I'm not talking about Desire, where Carver is. No high school in the upper nine. You combining Frederick Douglass with JFK, two totally different locations. They shut down the only high school in the lower Ninth Ward. I'm so sick of these people. I'm sick of these parents that's taking this and stuff, and our children are continually failing. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're paying a school board for doing nothing, and we need to stop that. If there's any other petition that needs to be added, get rid of the school board like that group used to be. Erase the board, erase the board. And I want to say this to Reverend Calhoun, Ms. Janet Tobias, and to Ms. Valerie Jefferson. Thank y'all for what y'all did, for the protest that y'all did in front City Hall over the weekend. Love y'all. Keep the fight, and we got to do better for our children. We must do better for our children. We must bring vocational education back to our children because they're failing. And this charter system is exactly what they called it, a pipeline to prison system. We got to fight them. Y'all have a good day.
All right, Lord's blessings. All right, Katie, a response or information?
Our students have been doing incredibly well over the last years. We've seen incredible growth in math and ELA scores. We're seeing incredible growth in every one of our schools and every neighborhood as a city. And I'm really proud of the work that we've been doing as a school board and as a school district. We're a B-rated school district. We have no failing schools in this city anymore. We will continue to have to work hard to keep that progress, particularly with cuts. A lot of that was made with investments in mental health for our students, investments in high-dosage tutoring for our students, and we've seen the rewards for that investment. We will have to see how we can continue to do those things with these particular cuts and with stagnant public education funding from year to year. But I'm extremely proud of the work that's happening in our classrooms. Our students and our teachers do incredible work every year. Really looking forward to a good school year coming up. And, it's almost time to see those happy faces, maybe not always happy for the first day of school, see kids driving up and their parents dropping them off. I know I'm excited for the school year to start up. It's only halfway through summer. So I'm really proud of the work that's being done by New Orleans Public Schools right now.
All right, wonderful. I hope you can hold on. We got to take a break, and we'll get back with you and calls right after this. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. All right, it's 7:44 a.m. If you got somewhere to be at 7:45. I hope it's just on the other side of the bed, and you can just slide on over, grab that laptop, fire it up, and get to work. Send an email or make that call to the boss. Let them know you are on it. got to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, you got a little bit more time. Particularly if it's a doctor's appointment, give yourself enough time because, they might give that 10-minute window and you're not there to the 11 or 12 window, and then they say, you've got to reschedule. So do what you can. Get yourself to where you need to go and make sure others are safe as well. The talk line number is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Trying to grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
Life has a way of shifting priorities, changing needs, and pivoting plans. Home Bank is there for all of them. Their bankers partner with you for every step along the way, from understanding your needs to celebrating your success. Home Bank is invested in the vibrant spirit of our community and in you. So partner with them. Stop on by any banking center in the greater New Orleans area or visit home24bank.com to get started today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, a member of the FDIC.
Greetings and salutations. I am Elwood B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I am Will Sutton, and I'm in conversation with Katie Bowderwin, and she's one of our representatives on the Orleans Parish School Board, and talking about the MFP funding and the cuts that are mandated now by the governor and more than 2/3 vote of the state legislature. So we're going to continue that conversation and look at things happening with the schools. So we'll go to the talk line and see. We've got Reverend Calhoun. Good morning, Reverend Calhoun. You were on with Will and Katie.
Good morning to all. My question is, I know you looked at state cuts. Is there any data that tells us how much federal cuts has come that's come into our school system, as well as is there any data that tells us what it costs us to operate this all-charter management system as to when we had a single management system, a centralized management system? Is it costing more to operate the charter management system as compared to when we just had everything under Orleans Parish School Board? Because as I understand it now, we got maybe about 38 CEOs and assistant CEOs. So I would think administrative management is more costly now than it was when everything was under Orleans Parish. So I'll hang up and listen, Will.
All right. Lord's blessings. Have a good day. Okay. Thoughts?
I don't know about federal cuts. I know that this Trump administration has not been kind to public education, and that there are programs that have been cut that do fund particular things in our schools. Unfortunately, I don't know. I don't have any specifics on that, but I do know that this Trump administration has not been kind to public education. As far as how much it costs to run the school district, it costs what we have to spend. So we have revenue coming in from the state through the MFP, and we have money that comes in from the sales tax, local sales tax, and local property taxes. That money goes up to the school that we collect. The city collects those taxes. They send it to us, and we send it out to schools. We keep an authorizer fee to fund our operations, but 98% of that money goes to the schools, to the classrooms, to the teachers.
Okay, and part of that issue of balance with the amount of money from the various sources is the number of kids being educated.
Right.
So we have seen changes there and anticipate some changes in the coming years. Talk to us about that.
It really is one of the biggest challenges facing our school district right now. You know, we've got a city that unfortunately is not growing right now. We have great things going on in this city, but unfortunately is not growing right now. Our population is shrinking, particularly our population with children, school-age children. And so we are seeing declines in public school enrollment every year. We're not seeing an associated increase in private school enrollment. There's just a decline in population. And so what that means is we have unfilled seats throughout this city. Unfortunately, what that means is that we're likely to see schools merge like we saw Frederick Douglass and John F. Kennedy do. We'll see other schools perhaps close or get smaller through over the next few years because an empty school is a very expensive school. What you need is a student in every seat in your school. So as the district, optimizes and as we figure out the right number of schools and the right number of seats for the number of students we have in the city, I think we will see some changes over the next 5 years or so. Yeah.
So is there any chance that with the declining school population that we will not just see 1 or 2 schools closing, but maybe up to 8, 10, 12? And what would that distribution look like in terms of K through 5, middle and high school?
I don't know what it's going. I can't tell you the number of schools that it's going to look like. I mean, it really just depends on each year, sort of which contracts are available, which contracts are up for renewal, how school management organizations look at their budgets and how they determine what they can afford to do from one year to the next. So I can't tell you how many schools will be closing and what the distribution will be. It is our job as a school board to ensure that we have good quality education throughout the city. And so what we will be doing is making sure that as optimization continues, as we see the school district shrink a little bit, that we don't have that we maintain a district that serves the entire city.
So in some cases, with some closings in recent years, but also recently, we have charter management organizations surrender charters, and we're giving you all that opportunity. And in other cases, we have charters with poorly performing schools, and you all have to make decisions about that. But overall, the charter management organizations operate with your authority. Might we see fewer charter management organizations as we have a declining population of students and a declining number of schools?
I think that's absolutely a possibility, yes.
Okay.
Which ones those are, I can't predict right now. Obviously, it depends on a lot of factors, and those schools, those management organizations, they do make those decisions on their. Many of those decisions will be made by them to determine how they can, best be financially solvent to ensure that as much money as possible is going into those schools, into the classrooms, to their teachers, so that they're providing a high-quality, excellent education for every student in their building.
All right, we're going to take another call. Before we do, one of the things that Reverend Calhoun mentioned is something that a number of people who either oppose charter schools or have concerns about the charter school operation is the number of leaders. What's your thinking on the number of leaders with CEOs, assistant CEOs, a principal, assistant principals, and that kind of layer of management, and that varies. But what's your overall response to that?
It's not really the purview of the Orleans Parish School Board, so I don't have much of an opinion. What I look to see is that these charter management organizations are doing their job, and that that they're educating the students that are in their buildings within their budget, and that they're doing it with meeting all of the accountability standards that we hold for them every year, and every time their contract comes up for renewal. It is not our purview to determine how they do that within their budget.
Okay. We've got another call. Good morning, Don.
I can do one call, but I actually do have somewhere to be for 8 o'clock.
No problem. So we're going to be done
I can
in
do
3
one more
minutes.
call.
That's all we got. We got a couple of minutes. Don, you're on with Will and Katie, and we got about a minute and a half.
Okay, that's more than enough. I'll be straight and strong.
Okay.
I hear that are charter schools still considered nonprofits? Because my question is, do you have a chief fundraiser for nonprofits at each school? What role does volunteering? We know volunteer hours are more credited at a higher rate than actual fiat currency. For instance, volunteer hours worth $35, where minimum wage is $7. So, what role does volunteering and fundraising and grants from the business communities that you serve in, what role does that? I mean, $10 million is a lot of money for an individual, but not for an organization of the magnitude of the charter system in New Orleans. So what role does volunteering, grants, people who want to give back they can give their time and things of that nature. So what role does that play into just saying we're going to cut, we got to cut? No, you have to innovate, improvise, and overcome.
Okay. Lord's blessings. Let's get a response there. Katie?
Oh, I think there will be a lot of innovation happening, and there's always a lot of innovation happening in our schools to ensure that they can educate their students on the money they have available. And I think there will only be more innovation this coming year. $10 million does represent a 5% cut. That's a tough cut to do overnight. It is not going to shut, like I said, I don't think it's going to shut down any schools, but schools will be looking at things like how can they write more grant. They might be looking at opportunities for grant funding to supplant some of this money. I know schools are always looking for volunteers and for members of the community to come in. I would absolutely encourage anybody listening to get in touch with the school in their neighborhood, the school that they went to, the schools their children go to, and look for opportunities to give back, to volunteer. If you are in if you're part of if you work for a corporation that does corporate giving, absolutely, all of these charter schools are 501c3 nonprofits and do grant writing. They do fundraising as well as using the money the public funds that are available to them.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for the generous time that you have provided, and thank you for the insights about the district overall, and then MFP in particular. We'll be watching to see the impact. Unfortunately, I think we'll see some of the impact very soon and anticipate what that looks like.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Will. Thank you for your time this morning. Thanks for covering this important issue, and I hope to talk to you soon.
All right. Lord's blessings. Have a great day. All right, folks, we're going to a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk with Joni Hess from the Times-Picayune about what the heck happened in the French Quarter. She was part of the team reporting on that this weekend, and we want to hear from her what happened. This is WBOK, and the talk line number is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. The Trump administration is moving to end the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, setting the stage for years of new trade negotiations. Texas economist Ray Perryman weighs in.
Whenever you can get a situation where you can have free and open trade, maximize the things that each country does best, that's going to end up making us all better off.
The pact has benefited all three countries, while officials signal future trade deals could be negotiated separately with Canada and Mexico. A wanted felon is recovering after police say he opened fire during an argument in Atlanta. The other man shot back in self-defense, leaving 38-year-old Brandon Harper wounded and facing multiple charges. And former LA Rams cornerback Leroy Irvin has died at the age of 68. Irvin spent 10 seasons with the Rams, earned 2 Pro Bowl selections, and finished his NFL career with the Detroit Lions. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Will Sutton. I'm here at 8:01 a.m. Good conversation about what's going on with the MFP and Orleans Parish schools. Thank you so much, Alicia and Reverend Calhoun, for calling in to flesh that out a bit. We're going to go to the phone line right now and talk with TimesPicayune.com reporter Joni Hess. Good morning, Joni. You're on with Will and the family of WBOK listeners with the Good Morning Show. How are you?
Hi, good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Fabulous. Well, you cover a lot of things, and sometimes it's unexpected things. And one of those things this weekend was something that happened with something called a vault with a transformer explosion of some kind. And that happened on the 4th of July and caused a fire and outages. And tell us what you learned from your reporting and what happened and kind of where are we now?
Yeah, around 10:30 p.m. on Saturday, there was an underground transformer that exploded. And, there was fire in the street. This happened near the intersection of Conti and Bourbon Streets. And, it's a busy weekend. We got Essence Fest going on, got fireworks along the riverfront. So, this just happened. It's so random. But lots of people were evacuated from the streets. They evacuated the Royal Sonesta Hotel because it was as Energy was trying to fix the lights and everything, so people had to clear the area.
Wow! So that had to be a lot of visitors at the Royal Sonesta Hotel, and especially on that night, because my guess is people didn't come in for the 3rd; they came in for the 4th. So they're probably checking out on the 5th or maybe the 6th, and all those people had to go somewhere. And if they were staying at the Royal Sonesta, probably only a few of them live in this greater New Orleans area, and so they may not have had anywhere to go. So any idea how they handled the inconveniences?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I haven't spoken with anyone on the ground that would have given me a better idea. I did reach out to NOPD, and they didn't give me, much more additional information than that.
Okay, but no one was hurt or worse, right?
No.
Okay.
No injuries. No, nothing was reported like that.
And I know this was an unusual thing that you were thrust into, but do we know anything about what this vault or this transformer is, and why some reports call it a vault and others call it a transformer? Are they the same thing?
As far as I'm concerned, they told me it was a transformer. I'm not sure if that's the same thing. I know that they're still trying to understand what the cause of the explosion was. So they're still investigating that. So I'm sure more details will come out in the near future.
Okay. So everything is back in working order as far as you know.
Yeah, power has been restored. They worked overnight to do that. I think they thought it was going to originally be power was going to be restored a lot sooner, like within an hour time span, but that didn't happen. They cruised, the energy worked through the night to get the power back up, and that was restored, I think, about 7:30 on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Well, I know you got a number of things to do today, coming out of the weekend, and we're going to let you go. So, Lord's blessings, Joni, and thank you for
Yes.
calling in.
Thanks, Will. Thanks for having me.
All right, so long. All right, folks, that was Joni Hess from the Times-Picayune, NOLA.com, one of my colleagues over there, and we got an update on what happened in the French Quarter with the transformer. We still want to know more, even though things have been figured out, the power is back and all. We still want to know more. If you attended the Essence Festival, day or night, concerts or otherwise, or daytime activities and activations, we'd love to hear from you today, and let us know what your experience was like. What kinds of things did you do? What do you think about this year's Essence Festival compared to previous years, if you have gone previous years, or if this was your first year? What's that experience been like as well? We're going to go to the phone line now. Good morning, Ryland. This is Will Sutton on the Good Morning Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So I saw you out there at the Essence Festival.
Yes,
Were you out there all 3 days? And is this your first Essence, or you've been to multiple Essence festivals?
I've been to multiple Essence festivals, and I would probably say this is maybe like my third or fourth one, honestly, and it's all been in the capacity of actually working it as well, too.
All right. So what was your role with Essence Festival?
So I was one of the hired brand talent agents. I represented Coca-Cola's activation site. So, me and my team, we were responsible for the setup of things. We were responsible for, making sure that the people who were coming in and enjoying the festival, that they were getting what they needed to, having great customer service and engagement from us. And, just enjoying ourselves in the same time and making sure, the people who are coming in are enjoying themselves too.
Well, since you were part of that brand team, then that means you were over there by Shine City, I think it was called, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and why was it called Shine City?
That's a good question. I should have been better prepared, or should have asked. I'm wondering if it has something to do with Coke in general. Maybe they're branding themselves as that, or come over and shine with us, sort of deal.
Yeah. Well, there were 3 samples of Coke products over there, and I know nighttime activities were a big thing, as it is every year with Essence Festival, the nighttime concerts. But you all pretty much had concerts and activities all day, each day. Every time I passed or went over to check in, there was somebody performing. There were DJs. There were game shows. It just seemed like it was quite a place. It looked like you could stay there all day and not see some of the other Essence Festival things.
I'm the more that I see and the more that I go to Essence, I feel like Coca-Cola is one of the biggest sponsors and names associated with it. So, I see how they are always getting, these really cool talent and celebrities to come through, and the activities that they have planned, even the things that we give out. There's some premium qualities. People seem to always lose themselves trying to get some of our bags and other things that we give out, but it's almost like a full concert party going on each day over at Coke.
So since you've seen a few of these, how was this one compared to others?
That's a good question. I would say that I would say that the process or things seem to be more streamlined as more time goes on. However, I can see on the other side where the amount of vendors or other activities dispersed throughout the entire festival, that seems to be a little different than it has been in the past. Normally you'll walk up and down and there's so many different things and vendors to see, and I haven't been seeing that as much within these past couple of Essence festivals.
Okay. All right. What was your favorite thing this weekend?
My favorite thing this weekend was probably, it's always, I think, doing the bag giveaways, because it's cool to see people being happy. You can tell that they're looking forward to something like that, getting, one of these things as far as a collector item, because that's what it seems to be like, from my opinion. This is a really historical, cultural event. People like to have something to kind of hold on to the show. So, being able to play a part in that's probably my favorite experience with Essence.
Wonderful. Well, did you get a chance to spend time doing anything else?
I one of these years, hopefully, maybe I can get an actual ticket to the concert. Later, maybe they'll be extra generous like that. But I think just kind of some of the parties and things going on outside afterwards in the nearby area. That's kind of what I parlay into after Essence Festival, because people are coming out and they want to enjoy New Orleans some more.
Right. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your Essence Festival experience. Glad you had a good time, and glad to see you out there helping people. There was quite a way to close the Shine City on yesterday. Tell everybody what happened with the band.
With the band?
With the band.
Oh, with the band, as far as Grambling Band coming in and having a wonderful entrance and excellent show and playing, and they came in and kind of closed off our festival experience. So that was cool too.
Yeah, wonderful.
And they did a lovely job.
Wonderful. It was great to see the world famed Tiger Marching Band.
Right.
There. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Robin. We're gonna move on from here. Probably take a break, and then we'll be coming back with some news and information. Lord's blessings, sir, and have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. You as well.
All right. Very good. Okay, folks, we're going to take a break and check on a couple of things, and we'll be back with you shortly. There's a lot of stuff going on with Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill. Woo, Lordy. Quite a few things, not the way some people plan to spend their weekend, of course, but there was a lot of back and forth with that. So we got to take a look at that, see what else is going on when we come back after the break. It's 8:12 a.m. The talk line is 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. This is WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
And here are today's headlines for you. Attorney General Liz Murrill is doubling down on letters sent to New Orleans leaders after hearing she may be the subject of a grand jury investigation. The investigation centers on letters the AG sent to Mayor Helena Moreno, DA Jason Williams, and members of City Council. That is after Mayor Moreno called for a special election and appointed an interim clerk after a bill consolidating court clerks passed. The letters urge them to cooperate with newly passed Act 15 legislation or lose their jobs. The AG says she hasn't been notified of the investigation and that she stands by the letters. Well, this year's Essence Festival kicks off the July 4th weekend, and the Essence Festival media kickoff is at 9:30 this morning at the Convention Center. While you're enjoying all of the culture, the music, and the food, festival leaders do want you to stay safe. There is a Designate Before You Celebrate campaign. The goal is to prevent serious injuries and deaths on the roads during the holiday weekend. And that's a look for you at today's headlines.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Comparing the cost of wills, successions, and trusts.
A will might only be a few $100s, but your family could end up paying more in legal fees.
Trust costs more upfront, but saves time, stress, and potentially thousands.
Think of it as paying a little now to avoid a big bill later. Smart planning means big savings for your family. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
This invitation goes out to all of us unworthy sinners who's been saved by the grace of God, where you and I are only made worthy by the blood of the Lamb and our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. We're FIJTC, Faithers in Jesus the Christ. My name is Mr. Rocky. You can tune in to WBOK 12:30 a.m. Sunday mornings from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Hope to see you there.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
On the Good Morning Show, it's 8:17 a.m. and I am happy to be with you. Happy to hear from Joni Hess about what happened in the French Quarter, and always good to get good calls and have folks weigh in on one thing or another. The talk line number is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. So one of the things that happened, we mentioned earlier, is lots of action involving the Louisiana Attorney General. So this actually goes back beyond this weekend. So back in the spring, the state legislature passed a bill, and the governor made it an official act, making it a law, consolidating the New Orleans criminal clerk of court job with the New Orleans civil clerk of court job. That essentially eliminated one of the two clerk positions, and it eliminated the position that had been won with an election by Calvin Duncan, who beat the incumbent, Ms. Lombard, by 65%. So it's a clear majority and overwhelming, and very clear that the people who voted wanted him to be the criminal court clerk. Well, the legislature, meanwhile, with the governor's support, said that New Orleans doesn't need two clerks, a criminal court clerk and a civil court clerk. So they decided to consolidate, in their view, and put those duties into one single clerkship. So that was passed, and it meant that Calvin Duncan would not have the full-time, the opportunity to be serve a full term as criminal court clerk. So the city council pushed back and passed a resolution and appointed an interim clerk, retired Judge Kelvin Johnson, and scheduled a special election to fill that job permanently. The thinking there was, and while they didn't say this specifically, was that if the legislature wants to do something like that, then the city needs to make sure that there's an election for that role, and that was the idea. But meanwhile, Calvin Johnson was asked to fill those duties while things were worked out. As a part of that, Attorney General Merrill sent out 8 letters to a number of elected leaders, including 5 members of the city council, the 5 who agreed with that resolution and the appointment of an interim clerk. Also, the district attorney, Jason Williams, and New Orleans Mayor Helena Moreno. And in those letters, my opinion, I read some about this last week. It seemed to be clear intimidation and pressure and demands that they, quote unquote, officially retract what they had done, and withdraw the interim clerk. And in so many words, maybe it was asking to say, "I'm sorry, I was wrong." Of course, it didn't say it that way in the letter, but a grand jury was seated, and that grand jury decided that there needed to be an investigation of what the AG did, with a particular focus on the letters and whether that was intimidation. Well, that grand jury, under the leadership or guidance of former Judge Lori White, she was appointed as special prosecutor by Judge Leon Roche. And the grand jury indicted Liz Merrill on 16 felony counts. And that included 8 counts of public intimidation and 8 counts of malfeasance in office. From there was an arrest warrant and bond, and the bond was set for $400,000. That's $25,000 per count. Some people pointed out that that's higher than other situations, and other folks have pointed out that, well, it's not as high as some who have bonds of much more. There was a defense response to that, saying it was a clear conflict of interest, and that the grand jury shouldn't have acted as it did, and there were defects in what they did, and there were media leaks, and that's a problem. Merrill had her own attorneys, and they filed an emergency motion, and then on Friday, they issued a stay on the prosecution and paused these legal proceedings. The court said that Merrill's attorneys had made a strong argument, and that they would proceed to squash this effort. Well, there was an arrest warrant for the Attorney General, but the court said have to explicitly recall and vacate the arrest warrant, and that would bar Liz Merrill's arrest and booking and further activity. Orleans Parish Sheriff Michelle Woodfork put out a statement saying that that had been done, because otherwise Liz Merrill would have been showing up for her mugshot and processing just like anybody else charged with a crime. So meanwhile, we'll see where this goes from here. Governor Jeff Landry and Liz Merrill are saying that this is a witch hunt. The governor said that he would immediately pardon the AG when that opportunity arose, and that New Orleans folks have at this point been told that this is cannot proceed, and but we'll see how this goes. I'm looking forward to seeing whether this is over and moving forward with the consolidated clerk role and the end of the indictment and subsequent action for Liz Merrill, or will there be additional legal efforts today? I'd love to know what some of you all think, especially some of you all who are attorneys or perhaps not judges, but retired judges, to see what you think about this process. It's been quite a set of surprises nearly every day at the end of the week and going into the weekend, and late night, early morning yesterday with the Supreme Court ruling. But I'd love to know what you all see, what you think. Have you been following every step of this? What's on your mind? Is it not important to you? I would love to know. The WBOK 1230 AM talk line is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. I know there are a bunch of you all out there with your legal opinion or your own opinion about Liz Merrill and Governor Jeff Landry, but perhaps you might see this a little different if you're looking at this, especially with some legal background, and say, while I disagree with things that she has done, I don't think that this was a legitimate action. Or perhaps you believe that it absolutely was, and that under the law, the governor, Liz Merrill, legislature should not have taken those actions, and that the grand jury could take its action, as opposed to some who say it was wrong for the grand jury to do this because that too looks like retaliation and intimidation. So the latest that I know about this is that Governor Jeff Landry has assigned the state police to look into this grand jury process and figure out what happened and why it happened, and consider additional action. I have concerns about that because grand juries should be anonymous. If you start investigating, we're going to get a list of people who were the good people on the grand jury and a list of people who were the bad people on the grand jury. We're going to get names and addresses and phone numbers, which would not be cool. Are we going to find out enough about these folks that we can figure it out? But what are they looking for? I mean, they're looking into the lives of these grand jurors who were doing their job as they felt they were impaneled to do, and what else can they do? Are they still responsible as a grand jury to handle this in other matters, or have they been dismissed at this point? So if any of you all have information about any of that, I certainly would love to hear from you and get your take on what's happening with this. Meanwhile, there are other news items I wanted to be sure to share with you today. And of course, out of Essence, Michelle Obama was at the Essence Festival on Friday night, and had the opportunity to hear her talk, which was in podcast form with Kiki Palmer, and the focus was on Michelle Obama's new book, The Look, which is her already best-selling book, looking at fashion and beauty. And there were some interesting comments from the former First Lady. For instance, she did not want beauty and fashion to be the first thing that people talked about when seeing her or hearing about her and her role as First Lady. But she knew that it would be something that people looked at. So she took care to make sure that she had the type of fashion forward thinking that she knew would have impact, just because the First Lady of the United States was wearing something from J. Crew, or she talked about going to other places like India and not wearing clothing from there, but having an American of Indian descent design something that she would wear when she was in their country. So I thought those were some good things to learn. And of course, she talked about growing up in the South Side of Chicago, meeting Barack Obama, how their first kiss was at a ice cream store, and how she remembers what she was wearing for that first time. And she also talked about what the journey's been like with the love of her life, becoming a politician, senator, the U.S. president, first black president, first black first couple, first black family in the White House, and how she's learned from that experience and how it's had an impact on her life, and the types of things that how she handled family matters with her daughters when they could be in the media spotlight and could not be, and how she did her best with her mom's help to keep them as normal kids as they could, living in the bubble that is the White House. So that was fascinating, good conversation that was live recorded as a podcast. So you'll be able to hear that coming up soon, I'm sure. So you can search for that and look up Kiki and Michelle Obama for that program. It was good. It was educational, and it was particularly enjoyable to be there to see it happen. That was one of the things that I enjoyed at Essence Fest. I also enjoyed the Suede stage, where it was man-focused, and there were some barbers cutting hair for free. There was a Suede stage where there was man-focused conversations, but not exclusively for men, because there were a number of women in the various audience that were there when I sat in for different programs, including about art, fashion, raising black males, things of that nature. So that was an enjoyable experience, and I really enjoyed the New Voices Foundation set of spaces. Attended a local company pitch where three sisters have businesses, and they talked about their businesses, and they were competing for $10,000, $15,000, and $25,000. So on the spot, decisions were made by the judges, and each of them walked away with money. So walking into the pitch, all of them were going to receive some cash money. Well, not cash, but they were going to receive a big check representing the money that they would receive. So, but they knew going into it, even if they came in third, they were going to walk away with some change. And so it was delightful to see these sisters compete and make their pitches to work to get some more money to invest into their businesses and make their businesses grow and be better. So that was fascinating. Hoping to hear from somebody from New Voices tomorrow to tell us more, because that pitch was just one thing that New Voices Foundation does. And I'm sure a number of you all will be interested to know more. That's one of the things I love about Essence Festival is meeting people who I didn't know exist, finding out about businesses and nonprofits and organizations who do work that is very great. And there were a number of situations where met people who I otherwise wouldn't meet, but for being at Essence Festival. So I had a good time. I probably overextended myself because I did so many daytime activities and included nighttime activities this year. Don't always do that, but did all 3 nights, or parts of all 3 nights, because at some point this body said, slow down, go home, get some rest. So that's what I needed to do. But I did see the landing of the new mothership. George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic, they put on quite the show. They were opening, but that was, it could have been a strong closing. It was so good. And but I know there were some changes made from Saturday acts to Sunday and Sunday to Saturday, and first, second, third, or last performances and all. Generally speaking, it seems like they kept to a tighter time schedule than it was last year, but I am sure that there are some things that are being looked at, some glitches that have been reported on social media and in some news reports. But the music didn't ring true with me all of the time because I didn't know who the folks were, and I didn't know what they were saying. Chord snippets. But hearing Patti LaBelle, incredible. Babyface, incredible. Dougie Fresh really pulled it out with the number of friends that he had come out from the blue. People who don't come out all the time, like Tevin Campbell was there. Like, oh my goodness. So there were some good things day and night at the Essence Festival. Looking forward to hearing more about what went well and any feedback about it. It was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to see Mama Vera and the Community Book Center be responsible for the books at the festival, and wonderful to see all of that energy, all those black folks strolling in, looking at the books, taking pictures, and buying books and talking about books. There was some good programming there as well. So I'd love to know if any of you went to Essence Festival and what you did. And I would also love to know if you didn't go, why not? Why not? Is this just not a thing for you? Has it ever been and you're tired of it? Or you think you'll go next year since you haven't been the last few years? What's your thinking about that? And I'd love to hear from you. The talk line number is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. Give me a shout. You got some things to say and share about Essence Festival as a participant, a concert goer, or reasons why you didn't go this year or previous years, and also what's going on with the Louisiana Attorney General Liz Muro. Do you have your thoughts together about that, or you feel like it's been like a bunch of whack-a-mole, one thing after another happening so quickly, trying to grasp one thing and then another thing pops up? What's your thinking about that? Look, we're going to go to break so I can get some tea in my system and keep going. Don't forget, we've got more coming up today with the Front Porch and Tavis Smiley, and we also have G-Man, the reality check, coming up later in the afternoon. All right? So right now we're going to break. It's 8:40 a.m. Talk line once more, 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What do you want? Just talking about it all day long.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
As America celebrates our 250th birthday, I continue to reflect not only on where we are, but how we got here. Like millions of Americans, I am deeply proud of this nation. Make no mistake about it, I am proud to be an African American, and I am equally proud to be an American. And those two identities are not in conflict. They strengthen one another. Yet I worry that the story being told about our nation's founding has become too narrow, a move by some to erase or whitewash our history. It sometimes suggests that the birth of American freedom belonged to only one people, one culture, or one experience. History tells us something far richer and far more diverse. From the earliest days of the struggle for independence, African Americans, indigenous people, and immigrants stood beside the colonists in the fight for liberty. Some fought as freemen, others fought while still enslaved, believing that the ideals proclaimed in 1776 would one day include all of us. Historian Henry Louis Gates Jr. has documented the indispensable role of people of African descent played in the Revolutionary era. Retired Lieutenant General Russell Honore has likewise reminded audiences that the Continental Army drew strength from people of many backgrounds. That truth should not make any American uncomfortable. It should make every American proud. Because the foundation of this republic was never built by one race alone. It was built by people of different colors, cultures, languages, and faiths who shared a common belief that freedom was worth fighting for. America's strength has never come from uniformity. It has come from people of different races, cultures, and faiths choosing to build one nation together. That is our history, that is our promise, and that is the America worth celebrating. This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Missed a show? Want to hear that guest everyone's talking about? WBOK is now streaming on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search WBOK Media, hit download, share with a friend, and don't forget to rate your favorite shows 5 stars. Because when our voices are heard, our impact grows.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-311-5977. That's 800-311-5977. 800-311-5977.
Life has a way of shifting priorities, changing needs, and pivoting plans. Home Bank is there for all of them. Their bankers partner with you for every step along the way, from understanding your needs to celebrating your success. Home Bank is invested in the vibrant spirit of our community and in you. So partner with them. Stop on by any banking center in the greater New Orleans area or visit home24bank.com to get started today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, a member of the FDIC.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton, and I am happy to be with you, WBOK family of listeners right here on the Good Morning Show. It's 8:45 a.m., and we've got a caller. Good morning, Pop Jones. You're on with Will Sutton,
all right.
and it's just me. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. I was able to make one day, but I couldn't see any of the celebrities yet. They have a special pass.
Oh, wow.
And that was $200.
Oh, well, that's
quite
a bit of change.
It was hard. It was very difficult to get in.
Okay, why was it difficult to get in?
Man, it was, I don't know.
What day did you go?
Stood in the line.
What day did you go?
So, Labor Day.
Okay.
I mean, 4th of July.
Yeah, 4th of July. So you were out there on Saturday. What time of day did you get there?
10:30.
Oh, that's why there were a lot of lines, because that was right at the beginning. Because I was over there probably about, on Saturday, probably about 9:15. And there were long lines.
Oh, man.
Man, there were so many long lines. And, man, I had a special pass. That was $200. Seeing the celebrities otherwise. Yeah. Well.
All that was free at one time.
Yeah. Well.
But not anymore.
Yep. Well, I know that at night, of course, the concerts have different levels of pricing.
No.
Yeah.
I know you have to pay for that. That's different.
Yeah.
But look,
right.
I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Yes. You didn't mention George Clinton.
I did. Yeah. I was there.
Yeah.
I said I saw the mothership land.
How was he? How was George Clinton?
Oh, man. They put on a show, of course. George Clinton is a little older these days.
He's been around for a minute.
Yes, he has, and but he was there and performing, but realistically, as they should, he had a chair that he sat down. So he sat down at points. And then bop with the music and pointed forward, and then did a little singing from there. But then he would get up and move around a little bit more.
Look, walking to the club, I had my walker. I had my queen with me, but I had my walker, so I couldn't do all that standing. So I'm good. I'm an Army veteran, so I deserve to have a walker.
Yeah. Well,
so I was able to sit down.
Well, I don't know all the details of lining up this thing and that thing, but the show.
Well, I believe it was. It seemed like it was very successful.
Well, it was, and he even had Nona Hendryx out there.
Who?
Nona Hendryx. You remember Nona Hendryx at all? Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
What is Nona Hendryx? The name's kind of same.
Okay, all right. Well, she's been a singer around for quite a long time. Vocalist, record producer.
Okay. All right.
She was part of LaBelle, the group that
LaBelle,
sang with Patti LaBelle,
right.
and that very popular song "Lady Marmalade."
Oh wow! Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Well, she's been around a minute too.
Yes, she has. She's 81 years old.
Yeah, how old is she?
81 years old.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yeah.
I know she had to be way back. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Yep. So she's been
Yeah.
around for a minute, and
Well,
George.
look, where was Eddie and all of them? They was there.
Eddie.
Eddie Francis.
Well, Eddie's going to be on this week, but
Oh,
and
was
I don't
he at
know
the
if he was at
festival?
Essence Festival. I didn't see him over there, but that doesn't mean he wasn't there.
Yeah, okay,
So,
good.
but Kimber was over there. I saw them
Oh,
a couple.
Kimber, that's what I missed,
Yeah, and
Kimber.
Graylin was over there.
And
Saw them a couple of different
that's why-
times.
Well, they
Yeah.
probably that's why we couldn't get in to see them.
Well-
They have a $200 pass.
Well, well, you did get into the Essence Festival and walked around and took some breaks, right?
Yeah, when I ate plenty of food.
Did you eat before you went, or you got there
Oh,
and ate over there?
I saved my appetite.
Okay. Well, what did you have, Pop?
Got me some good bread pudding. I got red beans.
Uh-huh.
I got some everything. So I was, and what I didn't eat, I brought it home.
All right. Well, that's good.
So it was all good for
Yeah.
us. It was beautiful.
Yeah. But did you?
After we got in, a little frustrated at first. Like it was hard to get in,
Yeah.
but it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And I tried to reach a friend of mine to let him know it was extended until today.
No, not today. It ended yesterday.
Oh, I thought I heard that it was.
I think they're having a closing news conference this morning to give a recap and an overview of.
I thought I
what
heard
happened.
something.
Yeah. I don't think they'd be doing a closing news conference
No.
if they were extending it. So, of course, there'll be a
Well,
bunch of people there.
I gave him some wrong information.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, sometimes if I provide wrong information, I go back and sometimes I provide bad information. I go back and correct it if I can.
Well, I'm glad that it all went well, and they'll be back next year.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. Of course, this is the year that the contract with the city and the state ends. So this was the last festival of this contract. So that expires. I believe it ends September. So there's yeah.
Look like you're catching up with Baton Rouge, huh?
In what way?
Well, as Attorney General, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. So what do you think about that?
All right now.
What do you think about that?
Well,
I mean, should they be going?
I mean,
should
the
they be
people-
going after
the
her?
People are not dumb as Will.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're doing the people so wrong, and it started right in Washington. Tell you, I never seen something so stupid. But then again, what about the people that's voting? They're gonna tell you they're gonna do that. I ain't never seen nothing like that. All the years I've been in my life, people telling you what they're gonna do. You seeing the treatment, they don't care nothing about nobody but themselves, and you vote for them anyway.
Yeah.
This is real. This is the craziest, dumbest thing I ever seen in my life.
So when you heard,
I understand though. The reasoning, a lot of reasons for that though. What they want to hold on to. Will, you already know. What they think they're holding on to.
Right. So let me ask you this.
Talk about that all day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me ask you about that because we got another caller. I want to make sure we get to Ben. But with the governor saying that the state police need to investigate the grand jury that indicted the attorney general, what do you think about state police investigating a grand jury?
Okay, what I think of, they need to investigate the grand jury. Well, anything that go against, they could murder somebody, that's okay. But anything that seems to be the right thing for the people, of course they're going to want to investigate it to try to stop it or do whatever they can. Am I right? Or well?
Well, it sure seems like it. This thing seems to have
course,
an end. But now there's a state police investigation.
Look, when they come up with this madness, well, they're not going to let. They're determined that they want you to just lay down and take it. But they know they don't realize that people are human just like they are. You understand?
Yep.
They got grandchildren, they got family, and everything. But I'm beginning to wonder: are they human?
Right. I hear you.
Are
Well,
they
Pop,
from another planet?
Well, Pop, it's been great to hear from you again, and we're going to get Ben on the line, and hope to hear from you tomorrow.
Thank you very much for taking my call. You have a blessed day.
Absolutely. Lord's blessings to you. Have a great day. All right, let's catch Ben before we wrap it up. Ben, good morning. You're on with Will Sutton and me. Just me. Hey, good morning, Ben.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, Will. Hey, I didn't see you at the Essence Fest, man. I was out there, but I didn't see you. I guess I wasn't welcome at the WBOK table. But
well,
okay.
That was Kimba and Graylin, man, and I only visited the table myself. so they were holding that down over there, but I was moving around. Which day or days did you go?
Oh, man, I go every year. You know, I'm a regular there.
So did you go? Did you go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
No. I pretty much saved it all up for Sunday.
Okay.
You know, I like to close things out. That's why I always call you at the end of the show. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, but look, I just wanted, when you talk about the grand jury and the state police investigation. Okay, so look, somebody from the grand jury was in contact with other people, right? And that's how this whole thing got leaked. That is illegal. Now, in my view, what I think what we're going to find out is that someone was influencing a member or members of the grand jury to investigate this whole thing. And there's a movie. It's a pretty famous movie. It's an older movie called Runaway Jury.
Yeah.
It's about something similar to this, where you have a jury that wants to investigate and go into all these little nooks and crannies, but it's up to, at the end of the day, it's up to the prosecutor and the judge whether they actually file the charges or not. And in this case, they should have never filed those charges, because now we see the Supreme Court is saying, look, if this thing comes to us, there's a very good likelihood we're going to throw this entire thing out. And so New Orleans winds up looking like they're vindictive, corrupt, that they don't know what they're doing. And this kind of just proves it, doesn't it, Will?
Well, I'm not sure that's true, Ben, but, you know, I mean, now, but the premise you're starting with, then that would be accurate, because grand jury should not be, and grand jury members shouldn't be talking about what they're looking at, what they're being asked to look at, because every time a grand jury meets, it does not mean there will be an indictment, but it's an opportunity for the grand jury to look and consider whether there should be. It's the opportunity for a prosecutor to say, here's what we have, what do you think, with the idea of hopefully getting an indictment to be handed up. But that's not how it works always. Sometimes it doesn't make the news because they don't hand up an indictment, or maybe they're looking at a few things. So I hear you. So it's hard for me to just say a blanket yes to all of that. But I certainly agree with you that individual grand jury members and the grand jury shouldn't be influenced. Hopefully that did not happen in this case. But if it did, then yeah, you're right. That would be a problem. Look, Ben, I'm going to have to go and make room for the front porch. Thank you so much for calling. Hope you stay tuned and come back again on tomorrow. We got some good stuff. Lord's blessings, sir. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to make room for the front porch with Kimba. And after that, we got Tavis Smiley. And then after that, we've got none other than the G-Man, Gerard Stevens, on the reality check. Lord willing, I'll be back here on tomorrow morning. This is WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.